All right. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad to see you here. So many of you told me where you're coming in from. We've got so many states. We've got Canada in here. So welcome. If this is your first time taking a look at this info, can you drop a one in the comments? I'm just curious how many people are here seeing this for the first time. I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Melissa Collins, and I have been in the social selling, network marketing, MLM, social retail, whatever word you call it. Everybody has a different name for it for about 16 years. Um, and I've always been in the health and wellness industry. I've always been selling pills, potions, lotions, things that make us healthier, supplements, things like that. And about a year ago, I felt a dramatic shift in the industry for a couple of reasons. Some things personally happened in my life that opened my eyes. And I'm actually going to talk about this on this call because I know that when I say the words, the MLM health and wellness supplement selling product space is dead, it triggers some people and they don't like it. But I'd like to share some things with you that might open your mind to why that's happening. In my opinion, it first started happening after COVID in 2020, 2021. Consumer buying behavior changed. My 94-year-old grandfather now knows how to Instacart. That is wild. This man went through the Great Depression, okay? Like he knows how to FaceTime. He doesn't do it well. I usually can only see the top of his forehead, but he's still doing it, all right? He knows what Zoom is. Consumer behavior changed. It's sped up for everybody. I don't think I've been to a grocery store since 2020 because I just realized how much easier it is to get them off my front porch, right? And I know a lot of you, yes, Paige said, I love Instacart. Yeah, me too. And DoorDash. And I realized I spend less money, even though Instacart costs a little more. I spend less money when I Instacart because I don't go walking through the store aisles going, ooh, I could make this. Oh, these mushrooms are fancy. Oh, look at those beautiful strawberries. I don't do that anymore. And so I spend less money, even though Instacart costs more. So consumer behavior has shifted and changed. That's one big part. The other part is health and wellness is changing. I have a private doctor and I go twice a month for IV injections and some other specialized health stuff that we do. And I was looking at their stem cell stuff. So I don't know if you guys have, this is not a talk about health and wellness, by the way. It's just the point is, I want you to think about this. Stem cell technology is becoming far more prevalent in our country. In fact, 3 states, Florida, I think Arizona, and I can't remember the other state, have legalized it in medical clinics as an injectable and as an IV treatment. And so, anyway, you can go to my next health clinic, and for $4,000, you can get a stem cell injection. And you may not realize yet, because it's not totally mainstream, you may not realize yet how powerful that treatment is. But all the pills, potions, and lotions, drinks, the collagen supplements, the anti-inflammatory stuff, all the stuff people are selling out there in the MLM space can be accomplished. The results you want can be accomplished in one stem cell treatment for $4,000. Or you can spend $300 a month on pills, potions, and lotions, which is $3,600 a year. Consumers are getting smarter. And they're like, I don't want to mix that drink every morning. I don't want to take those drops every day. I don't want to take those. I don't want to take 6 pills a day to solve my problem and spend about the same amount of money when I can go to a health clinic once and get an injection of stem cells and actually solve the problem. Peptides is the same thing. And so what happened to me is I started using peptide treatment, and it really opened my eyes to the emerging technologies that are coming in health and wellness. And so just so you know, for those of you who don't know me, when I started to pivot, when I stopped building in that industry, we owned an MLM company. It wasn't a leadership problem. I liked the leadership. It was me and Brandon. The marketing wasn't the problem. I was the chief marketing officer of that company. None of that was the reason that I left. There was nothing bad I have to say. We've brought it direct to consumer, and we do sell that product still, but I didn't want to build in that space anymore because I did not feel that it was within my values to bring people to a place where I did not believe they could continue to earn income. Because my mission on my life and what I'm uniquely gifted at is teaching people how to make money. And I wasn't going to continue to bring them into a place where they couldn't make any money, promising them that they could make money. And so I stopped building that about a year ago. And I really thought, hey, I really thought I was done. I really thought the game was over. It had shifted. I wasn't really looking into anything. I started building 2 other companies. I own a software company and I own another company. And so I was busy with those things. I was sort of be really clear. I entered this opportunity I was already earning six figures a month in my other businesses. So I didn't enter this because of money. I entered this because of the story I'm going to tell you. I entered this opportunity because I have a large group of people that follow me because they're looking for opportunity. They want to free themselves from the 9 to 5 grind. They want to build a financial fortress around their family. And when I saw this, I couldn't unsee it for what it could do for you and for your families. And so here's what happened. Brandon came to me at the beginning of October and he said, Melissa, I think we should talk to Brian Carruthers. And I was like, what would I talk to Carruthers about? I've known Brian for 10 years. He's a good friend of ours. I respect him as a leader in the industry. I respect him as a best-selling author. In fact, his first book, Building an Empire, was the pivotal point in my network marketing career. When I read that, that's really when I went to six figures a year. That book, if you don't have it, you should get it. It is absolutely the manual, the Bible on how to build big teams. And he's a brilliant man, but I didn't understand what he wanted me to talk to him about. And he said we should talk to him about Legal Shield. And I was like, what? Legal Shield? What would I talk to him about that for? Like, isn't that like all bald guys in boardrooms? What do you mean? What am I going to do there? Do I have to wear an old suit? And like, I get on stage in leather pants and bare feet. What are we talking about? They're not even going to like me there. He said, just get on a call and hear him out. So I get on the call. Allegedly, I was supposed to be hearing him out. I am going to be really honest with you. I did not listen to that presentation. And some of you are tuned out right now, maybe not listening to this presentation, and you're going to have a moment like I had. And that's okay, because I did that to him too. And so but then we got off that call and Brandon said, look, I know you don't want to do this, but we need a trust. We were getting ready to build a trust. We had talked to a lawyer and they were going to charge us $3,000, which we were fine with. But he said, we can get a trust done through Legal Shield for $200. So we need the service anyway. And you got to get copyright done for your app. We got to get patent pending done. And so let's just sign up for the service. And I said, that's fine, but I don't want to do it. I'm not building it. That sounds horribly boring. I've already gone to sleep 3 times since you've been talking to me. No. And so he didn't think I was going to do it. I didn't think I was going to do it. Next day, I wake up and I do something that I do every day. And if you get nothing else out of this call, I hope you get this. I hope you catch this life lesson and this money lesson. Every day for the last 10 years, I've woken up in the morning and I open every bank account and I track every penny that comes into my life. So I take the deposit from the bank account and I put it in an app and I just know exactly how much. I have a goal every month of how much money I want to earn and I track it. So that's just a money habit that I have. So I woke up and I started doing my normal morning routine. I tracking my money and I see this deposit from Legal Shield. Oh, I didn't tell you. I need to back up. Here's how the deposit happened. This was not the next day. Wow, I just got completely lost. Lord help me. My son called me all upset because because his landlord, he just moved into a new house and it was like his dream house. He loves this house. We're getting ready to build a family compound. So I told him he can't buy anything. He needs to rent a house for a year while we find our land. And so he finds this house that's perfect for him to live in for the next year. The landlord sends him a letter saying you have to be out by December 5th because you have a dog. Well, the dog is an ESA dog, so that's illegal. So I thought, well, this is great. We just signed up for a legal service. You can call my lawyer because I remember I told you I didn't listen to the presentation. He said, if you're under 26, you're covered. So he called the lawyer. The lawyer said, son, you're not covered because you don't live with your mom. It's under 26, but you have to live with your parent. Okay. So he doesn't live with me. Obviously he's having a landlord issue. So he calls me back and says, mom, I'm not covered. I need to buy my own plan. I know you have a link. You have a link to everything. Send it to me. So I send him the link. He buys a $37 Legal Shield plan. Calls the lawyer handles it, landlord backs off. Thomas is happily living in that house. So that was a great experience. I was like, great, the service works. It was easy. It took him an hour to get a hold of a lawyer. He pushed a button on an app. He got a hold of the lawyer called him back. Within 24 hours, the lawyer had written a letter to the landlord. Landlord wrote a letter back to Thomas saying, we're really sorry. We were mistaken. Everything is fine, and backed right off. So I was like, wow, this service is great for $37. And my kid is like, I'm never canceling this service. This is the greatest thing ever. He's like, I wake up in the morning now and hope somebody does mess with me. So he's 21. And so he's like, this is the most valuable thing in my life. So anyway, what happened then was the next day I wake up after he bought the legal plan, I wake up and I'm doing my income thing. And I noticed this deposit in my account from Legal Shield, which was about I don't know, what is it? About 3 times the amount that Thomas spent. And I was like, what is this? I had no idea because remember, I didn't listen to the presentation. And so I had no idea they pay next day. I had no idea they direct deposit right into your account and there's no commission account. I had no idea they pay the full amount of the policy for the year up front. So I texted Brian Crothers and said, what is this? And he said, well, your son bought a legal plan. And something literally cracked inside my brain. Like, I was like, what? And at that moment, I realized this is the opportunity that my people need. They don't need to be paid in the product industry. If you sell something for $37, you're going to make maybe $4 and you're going to get maybe paid in 45 days. I was like, my people don't need $4 in 45 days. They need this money and they need it tomorrow. They need to pay their electric bill tomorrow. They need to pay their car payment tomorrow. They need to see that this works tomorrow. This is amazing. And so on October 29th, I put an announcement out that we were going to launch this company. And also, it's not just the pay, but like it's, and we're going to go through the service, but it's literally something that everybody needs. It's something I've been preaching about for years, about income upgrades, about how to rewire your nervous system to make more money. This service should be in every family in America. Every single business owner needs this. I have never one time brought the little short PDF that Legal Shield provides me to a business owner to show them what they get and them say no. They buy them immediately as soon as I open my mouth and present it to them because it is such a valuable service. So between that and the way that they pay, I was like, I have to do this. So I announced it on October 29th. We did a few Zoom calls. Within 24 hours, we broke every single record in company history. In the 50 years of this company, we broke all the records for how fast you can go to platinum. We broke the record for someone going to platinum on their own pen. We broke the record for recruitment. And then very shortly, I realized I'm actually like really all in. I'm seriously going to do this. My people are seriously winning here. Within a week, I had people making 3 and 4 figures. It was wild. And so very quickly, we became the smallest, because we're the newest platinum team in the company, but also the fastest growing out of tens of thousands of reps and hundreds of platinum teams. We are the fastest growing team. Now, why did that happen? That happened because I paired a 50-year-old company that maybe seems a little bit boring with updated 2026 technology, onboarding, automation, and systems that actually work, that help people clear up the mass confusion and really get into the clarity of how to go grow a business. So this solves problems for people who are brand new, who have never built in the industry, have no idea how to do sales, have no idea how to do anything. This solves their problem. They immediately know what to do to get paid and get paid quickly and how to share. And it also solves problems for leaders who have big teams to lead and they're not. I mean, I have leaders on here who come to me every day and say, I don't understand why I'm getting paid so much money because I'm not working nearly as hard as I've worked in the past. And that is due to systems and technology that actually work. And so that pairing, what that did now, so we're in month 6. I'm in month 6. I have earned close to $400,000 in commissions. That's money in my bank account, not money promised to me, money that has been deposited in my bank account in the last 5 months. Like, let that sit for a minute just to show you what's actually possible. And we have on the team, I checked this morning, it's still there. We have 94% retention on this team. 94% retention. If you know anything about the industry, you should think I'm lying right now. You should be asking me for a receipt because that number is crazy. That's crazy. 6 months in, a leader like myself that enrolls the way that I enroll, I should have maybe, if I'm really good, maybe 50% retention. But most people have 20. We have 94% retention. Nobody leaves. Nobody wants to get rid of the service. Now, you may get in, some people get in and decide, I'm too busy right now, I don't want to do the business, but they do not cancel the service because once you understand what this does for you and your family, you don't want to live without it. You can't imagine why you lived without this protection for so long. And so I think what's been so successful is the incredible tools that we have to help people grow quickly with speed and see that it actually works. Because I can tell you all day long about how much money I made, how much money Jackie's made, how much money Brittany's made, how much money Patricia's made, how much money this one's made. But that doesn't matter to you. When $500, when you work today and you do what we ask you to do, and $500 drops into your bank account tomorrow and you see it with your own eyes, that's when it clicks in. That's the moment that it becomes real for you. And so that's why this opportunity works so well together. So now that you know what it is, usually people come to these calls to find out, what do you people do? 3 things. It's real simple to make a decision here. What do you people do? You want to know, what does it cost to get in, right? What's it going to cost you to get in? And then third, you usually want to know, can you do it? So let's answer those really quickly and let you make a decision today, decide if you want to get in. So what do? We share Legal Shield and ID Shield with people. We help them get signed up on plans with a simple link, and then we get paid for doing that. And we get paid very, very generously. And we get paid next day. Don't let that lose that on you. What's Legal Shield and what's ID Shield? So Legal Shield, think of it like legal insurance. So if you get a speeding ticket, a lawyer will show up and make sure you don't get points on your license. And we can go through all the negative things, but I really want to talk about the positive parts of having a Legal Shield plan. So drop a yes in the comments if you're someone who has a desire to change your income level. Maybe right now you make $5,000 a month, you want to make 10. Maybe you make 10, you want to make 20. Maybe you make 20, you want to make 40. Are you someone who wants to change your income level? So let me give you a little gift. Let me give you a little money training today. You cannot change. Have you ever noticed that you kind of always hover the same place? Your savings account. Have you ever noticed that your savings account always kind of hovers at the same place? We call it an upper income limit, or an upper savings limit. So some people have $1,000 in their savings account and then they get a $6,000 tax return. Have you ever noticed that it drops down to $1,000 relatively quickly and it always kind of hangs there? That's your upper savings limit. And that has to do more with mindset and your nervous system than anything else. And your identity, what you believe about yourself. If you believe you are the kind of person that looks, smells, acts, talks like someone who makes $5,000 a month, then that is where you will get stuck. It's just true. I've been through this when I was making $5,000 a month, when I was making $10,000 a month. I got stuck at $20,000 a month for, years, right? And now I'm stuck at about $250,000 a month. But I still am stuck. That might sound crazy to you, but I still am stuck there. And I have to go do more nervous system work to get to the next level. At every level, you have to continue to do this work. And one of the things that I recommend to my clients all the time is to do small system upgrades, because thinking about it, writing a vision board, pasting pictures on a wall, and saying affirmations is not going to fix this for you. The only thing that fixes it is when you start to take action. Your nervous system, your internal identity, the story that you tell about yourself, it's absolutely changed by action, not just by hearing words or just by pasting pictures on a dream board. Okay. And so when you take inspired action, your identity, your brain, it needs proof. If you're trying to convince it that you're someone who can make $10,000 a month from home, your brain needs proof that that's true. And one of the best nervous system upgrades I've ever seen is Legal Shield. For $37 a month for a family plan, you can become someone who calls their lawyer for advice. You know, these things that we worry about in the background, they're not in the front of your mind. We worry about them in the background, like the fact that you don't have a will. Whether you realize it or not, that impacts your identity. It impacts the way that you think. It impacts your nervous system, because that worry is there. What if something happens to me? I really got to get that done next week. That background noise, it's impacting your ability to make more money. I promise you that it is. When you become someone, look, guys, I make a lot of money. And if someone messes with me in one of my companies, the first thing I do is text my lawyer. And if you're not at that income level, that doesn't even cross your mind yet. If you don't have Legal Shield and you're not making $250,000 a month, you absolutely do not think, oh, I wonder if I should do this business as an LLC or S Corp. You Google it or you go on ChatGPT. I text my lawyer. Well, when you have Legal Shield, you can behave the way someone who makes $250,000 a month behaves, because you can tap the app and you can text your lawyer. And that changes the way that your brain processes information. It changes the way that you think. It is literally the best identity upgrade I have ever heard of. Now, it will also protect you if you have landlord-tenant issues. They're also going to write demand letters for you. So let me give you an example. Things that you would never call a lawyer for. Nor would I, no matter how much money I make, because my lawyer would laugh at me if I called him for this. Last month, Brandon was setting up a birthday party for our 8-year-old. And he called the company up and he gave them our American Express and he gave them a $58 deposit. And then right afterwards, they emailed him with the confirmation and he looked at it and he realized it was the wrong location. He called them right back within a minute. He called them right back and said, that's the wrong location. There's 3 locations in Nashville. I need the one at Cool Springs. And the lady said, sorry, our policy is we confirmed it with you. And so you got it wrong. So you lose the $58. Does anybody think that that's right? Because I think that that's garbage. Okay. That's terrible policy. It's bad customer service. Okay. Am I going to call my lawyer for that? Or are they're not even going to answer the phone. They're going to laugh at me. And even if they do answer the phone because we have a good relationship, they're going to charge me $400 to write a demand letter. I said, tap the app. He tapped the Legal Shield app. He uploaded the documents. He told them what happened. And within 24 hours, our law firm wrote a demand letter to Jump Air Zone or whatever it's called, Urban Air. I don't know. We go to a bunch of these jump places to make the kids burn off energy. I can't remember the names of them all, but the jumpy place where the kids are happy and I can work in peace in the comfy chair. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Sent a demand letter and guess who got their $58 back? This girl. Now you might be like, Melissa, what do you care about $58? Oh, maybe I do care about every dollar, but what about the single mom who really struggled to book that comes behind us, that the next week that happens to her? She actually needs that $58. I'm so grateful that we were able to do that and show them, like, you can't treat people this way and that we have access to the justice system. She doesn't have any access to the justice system. She can't do anything. Legal Shield also got us back. We took a Spirit Airlines flight. Highly don't recommend. Hate Spirit. But sometimes from Nashville, you have no choice. Like if we want to fly to Vegas, Spirit is the only nonstop flight. It's terrible. It's like getting it's like a beach chair on an airplane. It's terrible, right? And they charge you, like if you want to breathe more than 6 times while you're on that airplane, you have to pay $54 or something. I don't know. There's a charge for everything. Like, oh, sorry, you blinked while you were on the airplane. You owe us $22. What's your credit card? I hate that airline. But anyway, we were on Spirit trying to get to New York to see my son's girlfriend, meet her for the first time. And it was during the government shutdown. And so all these things were happening. And anyway, the flights got canceled. They canceled us. Then they flew us to New Orleans. And then when we got to New Orleans, they said, oh, your flight's it was like 5 o'clock at night. They said, your flight's not going to go to New York till 1 a.m. And I said, forget it. I'm done. I'll stay in New Orleans. So we canceled the flight. They said they would refund us our money. Well, they didn't. They took our $358. So we tapped the app. Legal Shield wrote Spirit Airlines a demand letter. You can't even get a hold of a human at Spirit Airlines. Have you ever tried? It's an AI bot you got to talk to, which, by the way, is the most frustrating AI bot on the planet. So we sent a demand letter and we got our $358 back. That's the kind of stuff that you don't currently have access to, that you will have access to with Legal Shield. This is why everybody needs this. Also, 60% of the United States does not have a will. Are you aware of that? That's craziness to me. That you need a will. Well, the reason you don't get a will, I'm guessing, is twofold. One, sounds expensive. You're going to have to pay $500 to $1,000 to get a proper will done. Can you go on Google or ChatGPT and get a will? Yes. Will it hold up in probate court? Also, no. Okay, let's just be real about that. I mean, I don't buy my health supplements at the Dollar Tree and I don't get my wills done on ChatGPT. I don't know about you, but it's just not a good idea. So you're going to pay $500 to $1,000 for a will, and that's too expensive for some people. And the other reason is it sounds awfully annoying, doesn't it? Like I might have to do paperworky stuff. I also have to think about dying. That's not really comfy. So there's a whole bunch of reasons why we resist doing that. But it's a very, very necessary document in your life, unless you want the state to decide who raises your children. And if you have any assets, if you want them to go to the right place where you want them to go. And also for those of you who are sitting there and you're like, well, I own a couch and a chair and an old car that nobody wants, so I don't need a will. That might be you. You might be thinking that. I have $500 in my bank account, an old Pinto, and a couch that nobody cares about. So what do I need a will for? Well, you need a will for what I was talking about earlier, for your identity upgrade, so that you can stop just having a couch, a chair, and a Pinto. Okay? Because you're never going to believe yourself that you can earn more income if you don't start acting like people who earn more income. It's just true. So you need a will. And when you want to get your will done here at Legal Shield, first of all, it's covered completely in your family plan. It's free. And so for $37 a month, your will is included. You're going to tap the app, I need a will. You're going to fill out some quick questions. It's going to take you about 5 to 7 minutes to finish that. And within a week, you're going to have a will in your hand. That's amazing. You get your power of attorney covered. I don't know if you care who decides to pull the plug on you, but I do. Okay, there are certain people in my family that do not get to decide that, and others who I trust to decide that. And I don't want them in the room with me hooked up to stuff, arguing, getting in a fist fight about who's going to kill mom or not, right? Only the good child is getting the plug. So I want my power of attorney done. I want my, we're getting a revocable trust done for $200. If you buy the premium, which is $49, you can get a trust done for $200. That's what we did. And so Legal Shield is an incredible service. The other service that we sell and that we share with people is called ID Shield. Now, I don't know how much you guys are into AI these days, or if you're following the news on AI, but by the end of this year, all you're going to hear about on mainstream news is how AI is making identity theft go through the roof. I promise you, you're going to start hearing about this. Everybody should have ID Shield in place. For, I think it's $14 for a single, and maybe it's $29 for a family that covers up to 10 kids, you and your domestic partner or your spouse, and up to 10 kids, completely covered. It comes with a VPN. By the way, the VPN that it comes with is normally $20 a month. So you need a VPN. If you're out at a coffee shop, you're at an airport, you're on a plane, you're somewhere where there's public Wi-Fi and you're connecting to it, I know you're connecting to it because you have to get that Instagram photo posted while you're on vacation. So I know you're connecting to the public Wi-Fi. You need a VPN. If you are in Europe, if you're in Morocco, this just happened to me recently, and you want to open a US website, you need a VPN. Some of them won't open. Do you know what's really annoying? Does anybody travel internationally but you're right in the middle of a Netflix show, and then you get to London and you can't turn your Netflix show on because did you know their Netflix is different than our Netflix? It's so irritating. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening to my character. I need my VPN. When you turn your VPN on and you turn Netflix on, it works like you're in the United States because your VPN tells them you're in Colorado or wherever. Anyway, you need a VPN. Did you know this? This is wild. 50% of babies born today, 50%, half of them. If you have two daughters, each having a child, one of them, this is going to happen to. 50% of babies born in the United States today have their identity stolen. You know when you figure that out? When you're buying them a car or when you're trying to get them into college, years later. And the amount of time it takes to untangle that is outrageous. And it can affect that child for the rest of their life, unless you have ID Shield and they've been covered since they were born. ID Shield is really, really important. So, so that's what we do. That's what we sell. And the other two questions are, can you do it? Because I know people look at me and they say, oh, well, Melissa, you've been in the industry 16 years. It's great that you were able to make all this money, but can I do it? I don't know anybody. I'm from a small town. I don't have social media. I don't like talking to people. I don't like sales. What are your other objections? Did I get them all yet? I'm too short. I'm too fat. I'm too skinny. I'm too tall. I'm too ugly. I'm too pretty. I don't know what your objection is, but I'm sure it's one of those. Yes, you can do this. So when I told you that we paired our technology with a stable company, the technology that I built does a couple of things. First of all, it takes a great complex company. This company has been in business for 50 years. They have more resources than you will ever know about. You'll be here for 20 years and not know about all their PDFs that you have access to. They have more resources than you could ever want. You would choke on them if you tried to look at them all. And so we went in and we took all those resources and we put them in a really clear, concise way. Matter of fact, when you get enrolled and you onboard, and then you want to text your sister about the benefits of Legal Shield, you're going to be able to open your phone. You're going to be able to toggle your own. You're going to be able to open your text to your sister. You're going to toggle your keyboard over to our keyboard because you're going to have access to that. And you're going to be able to push one button and send her the PDF that shows her what Legal Shield does. Maybe you want to send her a recording of an opportunity video. You're going to open up your text. You're going to switch over to our unique keyboard. You're going to push opportunity video by Melissa Collins, and it's going to text it to her. You don't have to go look for it. You don't need to open a website. It is already programmed onto your phone. That's the tech that we built. The other thing that the app does, if you're interested in building on social media, if you actually do the game inside of it, we built a game inside of it called the Daily Workflow. That game teaches you to go from 0 to 10,000 followers in 90 days. Do you believe that if you had 10,000 new followers in the next 90 days, it would be easier for you to grow on social media? I believe that it would because I've seen it happen hundreds and hundreds of times. And so it does that. It also has AI built into it. So at 2 a.m, when you can't sleep because you're up worrying about the fact that you don't have a will because you haven't tapped the app yet, and you're curious about how you make $500 in this company, you can tap on the compensation bot and you can ask, how do I make $500 this week? This company is a literal ATM machine. You need $500 because you had an unexpected plumbing bill at your house and you don't have the $500 budgeted. Well, you can go into the app and you can ask it, how do I make $500, and follow the instructions and go make $500. And by the way, you get paid the next day. You get paid the next day. Crazy. Should we have a moment of silence for that? It's crazy. All right. So can you do it? I don't know. Can you read and can you follow instructions? Someone asked me today, Melissa, what was the turning point? Actually, Paige put this on Facebook. She said, what was the turning point in your career in network marketing when you really started to get traction and you really started to grow? Because I started in network marketing with 300 Facebook friends, no idea about social media. I've never sold anything in my life. I was the owner of a childcare chain. I had no idea what I was doing, and I needed to sell protein shakes to make money. And I had no clue. And I struggled for a while until this one pivotal moment. I decided to get over myself, to tuck my ego away, and to follow the system and to do what I was told by the people who came before. And so, can you do it? Yes, of course. Can you read English and follow directions? If you can follow a plan, you can do it. This is not for people who want to find their own way. This is not for people who want to make up their own system. This is for people who want to follow a proven system. It absolutely works. We are in, I know someone just asked this, we are in the United States and Canada. So yes, it absolutely works for Canadians. And the cost to start, Ashley, I'm going to get to that now. It is a $99 one-time fee to be an associate. That makes sure that you own your business. You own your book of business. It's willable. If I were to pass away tomorrow, my business will be passed on to my family, and it's residual. So they'll continue to get paid. There's someone in this company who passed away 20 years ago. After building a six-figure income, his wife has been receiving a six-figure income for the last 20 years. So it's a willable book of business. It's $99 to get that started. And then you choose your legal plan and your ID Shield plan. So whichever one you choose. Legal Shield is $29 for an individual, $37 for a family, $49 for the premium if you need a trust. So you choose one of those and you choose an ID Shield plan. That is what it costs to get started. So we're talking about between $150 and $180. This is not a major life decision. Many of you are going to go out tonight on a date night and spend that on dinner. Is it a life-changing opportunity? Does it have the ability to change your life? Yes. Is it a life-changing decision to get started? I don't think so. And if $150 is life-changing for you or earth-shattering, I have to say something that might be a little bit triggering for you. You need to make more money, because that is alarming. If $150 is too much to get started, you are in an actual life emergency. Okay. And you've got to do so. That's the reason you should be doing this. Now, so we covered what it is. We covered, can you do it? And we covered how much it costs to get in. At this point, all you have to do is make a decision. Do you want to take a step and follow the plan and get started, or do you not? If you want to take that step and you want to get started, get back to the person who brought you here. They have in their keyboard, they have instructions for you. They will tap the app. They will switch over to, they'll go into their text. They'll switch over to their keyboard in their app, and they will text you instructions. And when you're done watching those instructions, ask them for their link and they'll give you the link. It takes about 5 minutes to enroll. It's painfully simple. Okay. After you're done with that, let them know that you got started, and then they will send you instructions. So they're going to send you a welcome message. That's going to be a bot. That's your onboarding bot. Go all the way through those steps. Make sure you onboard correctly. Make sure you get your fast start training set up. That's the first step. Make sure you get your launch post put on social media. It's going to walk you through all of those things and get started. I'm going to stop the recording now, and I'm going to answer some of these questions in the